okay? If I sit with $100 in my pocket, folks, there is no economy. If you want to be economic, you let money flow. It has to move. You got people in your company, managers and executives that are saving money. They save their money. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? We're saving money. How can you grow a department if you go home and all you do is save shit?
Let's face it, if you're still following the old saving rules in 2025, sticking to them could be costing you big time. With inflation skyrocketing and banks offering laughable interest rates, the old advice of saving a set percentage of your income just doesn't cut it anymore. Still stashing cash in a boring savings account while inflation eats your money like it's a midnight snack? You're basically throwing your hard-earned cash into a black hole. But before we dive deeper, make sure to like this video, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Welcome to Market Reflect. Let's get real for a second. The financial advice we've been spoon-fed for years? It's ancient history. Save 10% of your income, keep 6 months of expenses in a bank account, pay off debt as fast as possible. That might have worked when gas was $1 a gallon and a college degree actually guaranteed you a job. But in 2025, following those rules is like using a flip phone in a world of AI-powered smartphones. The world has changed, and if your money strategy hasn't, you're falling behind. So what's the new playbook? Let's break it down. Why traditional savings can't keep up anymore? Here's a fun fact. If you had stashed $10,000 in a regular savings account 5 years ago, you'd now have $10,500. Maybe. Meanwhile, inflation has gobbled up 20% of your buying power. In Nigeria, inflation hit 28.92% in December 2024. In the US, it's hovering around 3.4%. But good luck finding groceries that feel that low. Meanwhile, the European Central Bank is struggling to keep rates steady, while global economies dance on a knife's edge. Let's talk interest rates. Banks are still handing out 0.01% interest like it's a favor, while credit card companies charge you 24% APR. See the problem? Banks make billions on this gap, while your so-called safe savings shrink in real value. If you're still relying on that old-school 6-month emergency fund sitting in a low-yield account, congratulations. You're actually losing money every single day. Forget the 50-30-20 rule. Here's the new money formula. The old budgeting model, where 50% of your income covers needs, 30% goes to wants, and 20% to savings, is outdated in a world where career paths are unpredictable and the gig economy is redefining financial security. The better framework is 30-30-30-10. 30% of your income should go toward current expenses, your rent, utilities, food, and whatever non-negotiables keep you alive. The next 30% should be directed toward future opportunities, whether that's investments in stocks, high-yield accounts, or funding a side business. Another 30% goes to asset building, which includes real estate, index funds, and anything that holds long-term value. The final 10%? That goes towards skill development. This last category is where most people fail. They set aside nothing for personal growth, yet wonder why their income stagnates. The best performing investment of 2025 isn't crypto or real estate. It's learning a high-income skill. AI development, coding, digital marketing, and consulting can increase your earning potential by 50% in a single year. That's a return no savings account can match. So here's the upgrade, the 9-month split strategy. Because smart money doesn't just sit there, it works. First, park 3 months' worth of expenses in a high-yield savings account with 4 to 5% APY. This is your grab-and-go money. Easy access for car repairs, medical bills, or whatever life throws at you. Next, move the next 3 months into I-bonds. Right now, these bad boys are offering over 5.27% interest and adjust with inflation. Translation: your money doesn't get eaten alive by rising prices. The last 3 months go into liquid ETFs that generate 7 to 12% annual returns. These aren't just regular investments, they're still accessible if needed. But instead of collecting dust, they're actually growing. With this setup, your emergency fund isn't just sitting in a bank account getting weaker by the day. It's protected, inflation-proofed, and still ready when you need it. In a world where the financial landscape changes overnight, that's how you stay ahead. The wealthy don't just save, they invest differently. For decades, the standard advice was to invest in a mix of stocks and bonds. Today, the wealthy are diversifying in ways most people haven't even considered. A balanced portfolio in 2025 isn't just traditional investments. It's split across multiple asset classes. 40% should remain in traditional assets like stocks, ETFs, and bonds. Another 30% goes into real assets, including real estate, land, and commodities that retain their value over time. 20% should be allocated to alternative investments such as private equity, REITs, and business ventures. The final 10% belongs in digital assets like cryptocurrency, tokenized real estate, and blockchain projects, which continue to gain mainstream traction. If all your money is in stocks and bonds, you're missing out on massive opportunities. The wealthy aren't just saving money, they're positioning it where it can multiply. Most people don't realize that nearly every bank fee, whether it's a monthly maintenance charge, an overdraft fee, or a wire transfer cost, is negotiable. Yet only 4% of customers ever bother to ask. Banks have three primary tactics to quietly drain your money. The first is the yield game, where they profit off the spread between what they pay you in interest, almost nothing, and what they earn by lending it out at high rates. The second is hidden fees, which accumulate through sneaky charges that most customers don't even notice. The third is credit score manipulation. Credit scores aren't just about paying on time anymore. In 2025, they're factoring in new variables like payment velocity, how fast you clear balances, income-to-debt ratios, not just how much you owe, but how quickly your income grows, and credit mix diversity, having only one credit card now lowers your score. Now, here's the $1,000 mistake you don't even realize you're making. Relying only on a savings account is like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You think you're making progress, but inflation is quietly draining your money while you're not looking. Prices creep up by 3 to 7% every year, meaning the cash sitting in your bank is actually worth less every single day. Meanwhile, the stock market has been handing out 8 to 12% returns annually to anyone smart enough to put their money to work. But here's the real mind blower: investing in yourself beats both. Learning a high-value skill, whether it's coding, digital marketing, AI, or even mastering the art of negotiation, can boost your earning power by 15 to 25% per year. That's a return no savings account can match, no matter how many high-yield ads your bank throws at you. Still not convinced? Let's time travel for a second. If you had taken $1,000 and invested it in Amazon stock back in 2010, you'd be sitting on $22,000 today. If you had left it in a savings account, you'd have about $1,200, barely enough for a month's rent in most cities. So what's the lesson here? Saving isn't enough. If you're not actively growing your money, you're falling behind. The wealthy know this. Now so do you. The first step is opening a high-yield savings account that offers at least 4% APY, rather than keeping money in a traditional account that barely pays interest. Set up automatic investments into ETFs, bonds, and dividend stocks to ensure your money is constantly working for you. Review your subscriptions and cut out anything that isn't adding real value. If you haven't used that gym membership in months, it's dead weight. Within the next 30 days, rebalance your portfolio and diversify into alternative investments. Research real estate, digital assets, and high-growth sectors that align with future trends. If you don't have a second income stream, now is the time to start one. Whether it's consulting, freelancing, or launching a small online business, the rules of money have changed. If you're still playing by the old ones, you're already behind. Traditional savings methods aren't just outdated, they're actively working against you. The choice is simple: adapt and build wealth, or keep waiting for your bank to start paying you real interest. Spoiler, it won't. So, do you think it's time to ditch the old school saving habits and embrace smarter money moves? What's your take on the new money formula? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And that's a wrap for today. Hit the like button and subscribe to Market Reflect. Stay tuned for more and catch you at the next one.